Hey everybody, welcome to American Courts. Today we have some interesting ones. Hold on a second, let me check to make sure. All right, my mic was working. I knew it wasn't going to work. Everything else was going right. So welcome to American Courts. We got Judge Simpson, we got Judge Middleton, we got Judge Washington, and of course we got Judge Fleischer. And it looks like we've got Kathy in the house. Hey Kathy with Court Vibes. We've got Victoria, KK, ATX Alley, Linus, Emily, and of course Jay, Throw the Goat. Well, now that we've got Jay, we can get started. Amanda Panda, how are you doing? Yes, I am safe. Yes, I am safe. I got a little video playing in the corner of the video. It's Fort Myers, Florida. Some weather chasers running around there. It's not even raining there, which is normally right before the storm happens. That's when all the rain comes. Hey, Gina. See Gina White there. We're going to jump into. Let's go to Judge Simpson first.
Court calls the case is the People versus Eric Vermeulen.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Vermeulen, who stands to my right, please state your name for the record, sir.
Eric Anthony Vermeulen.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Where are we on this?
Thank you, Your Honor. Today's the date and time set for sentencing on both matters. We have reviewed the PSIR and we have no material changes or corrections. And we would ask to adopt or to address the recommendation briefly when appropriate.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. We have reviewed the recommendation to understand it as well as the probation recommendation. We are asking that the court, considering sentencing Mr. Vermeulen to 68 days on each case, credit 68 served, or in the alternate 93 days, credit for 68 and the balance to be suspended. As Your Honor is very aware of Mr. Vermeulen as well as these cases, and he has been in custody for some time. He does have some housing instability at this time. I have been able to talk to some of his relatives. At this point, it is not a guarantee whether or not he will be able to stay with them. Yesterday, I was able to talk to another family friend of his who may be able to actually take him in. However, at this point, it looks like Mr. Vermeulen would be staying in a shelter, and he does have concerns. We talked in great length about the recommendation. He doesn't want to violate probation. He has no, I guess I should say, issue with attending MRT, but he had thought out how he has a bike, how he might have to take it in the winter, where he would have to be riding his bike the way over here, and he might miss a class, and then of course he would be in violation status of his probation. He is not very much, we had a long conversation about this, me and Mr. Vermeulen. I personally did not get the impression he was trying to avoid getting sentenced to probation. As Your Honor is aware, I have a lot of those conversations with people who don't want to do probation. Mr. Vermeulen really just is dealing with a lot right now. His long time in custody has made things worse, so to speak, and we're asking that the court consider sentencing him to time served or in the alternate suspended additional sentence.
Eric, anything you want to tell
me? You know, after the altercation with Brian, he apologized to me for what he did and took me up, bought me some cigarettes and a breeze pen and a pop. And then he had me arrested. And I lost my place and everything. And I didn't do nothing. I did run from the cops. I was scared. Wasn't even thinking about it, what I was doing. Can you please give me time served? I have an extreme amount of difficulty when I get out of here. Regrouping, getting me a place. I plan not to break the law. I did not with Brian. I didn't hurt the guy. The guy was very mean to me, but I needed a place to live. And this is what he did. All he had to do was ask me to leave. He did not have to do this to me. I'm very sad because now I'm going to be a bum in society. He made me lose everything. Now my self-respect. It's going to be very hard. I'm going to suffer quite a lot to get going. I'm going to try to do it. But the guy was very wrong in what he did. very wrong. And I should not have run from the cops. I was just I don't even know why I did. I just don't think I was mentally there. I just don't know what happened. I still don't know what happened. I just know I'm here and I know I'm very lucky. Had people working with me to this point, trying to keep me out of jail. I don't belong in jail.
Ms.
Your
Blair.
Honor, may counsel I approach?
Okay. Anything else you want to say, Eric?
No, sir.
All right. And here's what I'm going to do. Eric. However long we've been dealing with each other, right? And you always ask me for something, and I always tell you no, and we do it my way, right?
Yes, sir.
That's just how we work. So here's what I'm going to do. You're going to be able to get yourself out. What I'm worried about more than anything with you, Eric, is that you find housing. Just listen to me. I'm worried about that. Because if you recall, 2 of the previous cases that you had with me really result from you not being housed because you were trying to survive. I mean, and I get it. But I think if you can get yourself housed, or at least give a shot at getting yourself housed, then I think things can look a little bit better for you.
I have no choice. I have to do something. My plan is to get ready as soon as I get out of here. I'm going past McDonald's. I'm putting in an app right away.
Okay.
And I'm going to go up there every day and pound their head until I get a job. And I'm going to make some money and I'm going to put it down on a room or something. I'll give me a place.
Okay.
I've always took care of myself.
Okay. So here's what has to happen. You're going to get out, but I want you to come back to court on Friday so that you can talk to a Friday afternoon so that you can talk with someone. That's when I have my housing docket. And I want you to talk with someone just to give you resources and places that you can don't. Eric, what did I just tell you?
Yeah, sure.
And you're going to start talking.
Go ahead.
And I'm going to tell you we're going to do it my way. Right?
No, yeah, I was just saying I did talk to somebody while I was in jail concerning this.
I know. Who was that?
They were 2 ladies from.
Okay.
Yeah, right. I got you.
Yeah. So Friday afternoon, you're going to come down here. We'll know that you're here, and then I'm going to have you talk with somebody and let them get some information, get you resources. Okay?
Sounds okay. Good. Yeah. What time?
If you don't show up,
Oh, no, I'm going
to have to go out and find you, and you don't want me doing that.
You'll find me quickly.
Yes, I will.
I'm not planning. I've been in this area. You'll find me.
Okay.
I'll show up.
So here's what we'll do, Eric. And I'm going to follow these recommendations because, Eric, the other thing is you got people here that when you run into a difficulty, you can rely on. Sometimes when you're out there by yourself, you're not making the best decisions. Okay. So when things come across and you got to try to figure out what to do, you can give us a call. Okay.
I think I had mentioned that to Teresa, that it's good to have someone on your side. That could
And that's why I'm not just sentencing you to time served. Yes, it is a good thing sometimes. And it's something you need, particularly right now. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So on the case ending in 1064, sentence of the court, 18 months probation, $555 fines and costs payable as directed by probation.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, one more thing. Is there anything on them fines? Like I worked 356 hours for the jail. Is there anything you can do on the fines? Just I worked hard up in that kitchen, scrubbing and cleaning and scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing. Can you do anything on the fines just so I could get some money going? I'm gonna need a lot of money to get going. I don't have any clothes. I have nothing.
Eric, you've been dealing with me how many years? Been over a decade.
You know,
When it comes down to you surviving or being out there and the money that you owe the court, which have I really cared about?
taking care of business.
You taking care of business. All right. You're going to work with probation. We'll realize where you are financially. We'll deal with it. Got it?
Got it.
I'm going to, on that case, waive the probation oversight fees. You comply with the terms that I'm about to set forth in the other case that ending in 1056. I'll order 365 days in jail, credit 68 served. The balance on that is suspended. On the other matter, place you on 18 months probation, $555 fines and court costs, $360 probation oversight fees that will be payable as directed by probation. There's to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as directed by probation. You are to complete the MRT program or a comparable program. There's to be no contact with Brian Maynard or Zane Maynard. No going to the residence or employment of those individuals. No assaulting, threatening, or intimidating behavior. You're not to possess any weapons, firearms, ammunition, or anything fashioned to be a weapon. You're to begin and maintain employment with proof to probation. I'll order 93 days in jail, credit 68 served, the balance suspended. On this case, I'm just going to add a 12 defendant to report to 14A1 courtroom on October 11th. 2024 at 1 p.m.
Then when do I report to probation?
Oh, you got to go to probation. But what did I just tell you? I need you here Friday at 1 p.m.
Yes.
so that you can talk to them about housing. Okay. And then they work with Valera when you got to go to probation. All right.
Okay.
Eric, I want you to keep in touch with Miss Valera as to where you are. Okay. You hear me?
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Hey, everybody. Looks like we got a Biggin raid. Thank you so much, Biggin. Thank you so much for the other viewers from coming from his channel. I'm sure y'all had a great time over there. He always does a great job. This one here was a sad one. If you follow Judge Simpson, you've seen this guy plenty of times. He's in and out, and he's a rough one. I think he's about burnout, and he's just finally starting to realize just how burnout he is. And I think at this point it's almost too late. But I never want to lose hope on somebody. But yep, we absolutely had a Mr. Allen sighting. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I got some of the storm in the corner at it's Fort Myers, I believe. I'm almost certain it is. It's weatherchasing.com. They're storm chasers, and they like to run around and get access to places other people can't get. The roads are all closed, but that's the storm right now. It's the calm right before it hits. Right before it hits, it stops raining, and then it'll scare the hell out of everybody, and then it'll come on through. So, absolutely, Idaho Wiggles. I'm not paying attention either. I'm right there with you. We're going to jump over to a few Judge Fly them. Here we go.
Joseph Santian. Mr. Santian, you're charged with possession of marijuana. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On September 30th, 2024, the officer was conducting a routine traffic patrol. And when he observed the defendant's vehicle with no front license plate, the officer initiated a traffic stop as the car was pulling over and an NCIC, TCIC return on the vehicle showed the vehicle to have an expired registration from March 2024. The search also showed insurance to be unconfirmed. The officer made contact with the defendant, the driver of the vehicle, who advised he did not have insurance on the vehicle and that his driver's license was expired. The defendant was then asked to step out of the vehicle, and the officer asked if he had any drugs in the vehicle, and the defendant stated in the center console. The defendant was then detained. During the inventory search of the vehicle, the officer observed 3 joints in the center console. Using a digital scale, the marijuana was observed to be 2.8 grams. The defendant also had 4 outstanding Class C misdemeanor warrants out of Harris County.
Is that the only thing that they found in the glove box was the dope? Was it
Yes.
marijuana? Okay. Mr. Santian, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Do you have a Texas driver license?
Not a valid driver license, sir.
You're not allowed to drive. I'm making that a condition of your bond now. You will be signing with me today a promise that you're not going to drive. I don't care what your excuse is. I don't care if someone has to go to the hospital. There's a burning building and you have to save 50 people. I don't care. You drive, you will do a substantial amount of time in jail. I can have a contempt hearing, hold you in contempt, slap you with 180 days every single time you drive. Do you understand? If you want to drive, go get a license, get liability insurance, and then I will happily take this thing off. But if I find that you drive, I'm telling you now, I'm going to light you up. We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I'm going to have you come over here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. Hold on. After that, I'll get you to Victoria to sign a reset, and then we'll get you out of here. When you come back, please have a lawyer, sir. All right. So let me get this right, Josh. He was out on bond for the aggravated robbery. He was out on bond on the other case on the retaliation, and then he picked up these 2 new cases, right? Is that right?
Let me check that.
I think he was out on bond for the ag rob, and then,
Oh, the
Picked up.
ag loss from May.
yes. And then picked up
Took a
that,
retaliation on 9/4. And then after that, so it's a 3rd time he's out, and then he picks up another case?
Allegations such are from August of this year, the 2 cases in this court.
yes.
Let me see.
It was after the ag rob and before the retaliation.
All right, so the retaliation is September 3rd. Mischief is August 28th. That is August 8th, 28th as well.
So I found that I had the warrant. Tell myself that.
Okay, so let's talk about this. So officers get a call that a robbery has occurred. Complainant stated to officers, two defendants later identified as defendant Marshall and defendant Ronald Waters, which was our other defendant from the other day, right? Remember Ronald Waters from yesterday? Hereinafter referred to as Waters and Marshall walked into a store, destroyed a glass partition which was $300 to replace, and walked out of the store with 3 vapes and other stuff, sodas and complainant stated both defendants walked in at the same time. Waters came up to the counter stating he wanted to purchase a t-shirt located behind the counter. While that was happening, Marshall attempted to come behind the counter, but the complainant was able to stop him. He reported that Marshall then came around to the front of the counter where Waters was, that he was distracted by Waters, who purchased a t-shirt, opened the packaged shirt, and seconds later wanted a refund, which he gave him the refund. Complainant reported that as that was happening, Marshall used his hands to mess with the glass partition, heard the glass breaking, grabbed 3 vape pens, other things, and ran out the store without any attempt to pay. Complainant states that he knows both defendants by sight and can identify them from priors. So while being out on all that, on the aggravated robbery, in that one, what do we have? Did he hold someone up?
Background.
Yeah, let's see how dangerous Mr. Marshall really is. Allegedly.
So the complaining witness was a delivery man for Domino's. I believe he made a delivery to the co-defendant in that case. The complaining witness said he felt something wasn't right and told the co-defendant to just pay him half so he could leave. The co-defendant pulled out a handgun, pointed it at the complaining witness, and demanded the pizza. The complaining witness noticed this defendant by his vehicle at that point and observed defendant Marshall open his front passenger door, reach in and steal a fanny pack that held his cell phone. So this defendant
Part of the offense. He's not the one with the actual.
He was not the one pointing the gun, yes, Judge.
Hey, everybody, I'm going to hit pause right there real quick. A few weeks back, people were talking about trailer homes and trailer parks. That is a trailer park in South Florida. We have those all over the state. There's probably a million or more people in Florida that live in trailer parks, and they're basically just tied down camper trailers. They're big, or I think some of them are up to 80, 90 foot long, but they're no match for a hurricane. They don't have a chance at making it through this. You see the debris and everything around, and this is before it even started. So this is not going to end well for that trailer park. But it actually amazed me a couple weeks back when everybody was talking about whenever everybody was talking about the trailer parks and people were talking about how rare they are in Florida. They're everywhere. Gina, the website is wxchasing.com. They also have a YouTube channel called WX Chasing. And if you go there, you can get it out. And so you can check that out there. And so, yep, that trailer park is going to be a goner pretty soon. So you just hope everybody got out of there. And I think those areas were mandatory evacuations. And a lot of time people handle mandatory evacuations a lot better. So, yeah, someone said in the UK they're called static caravans. That makes sense. Standard size for a single wide is about 80 foot. Yeah, so they're, big semi truck trailers are 53 foot, and so the trailer homes are about 80 foot long, and so they're long and narrow, and you just have to see how the wind's going to handle it. Yep, a lot of these are empty because the snowbirds haven't come there yet. It could be a lot of times, and probably in this area here, if I had to guess with this one, this is probably a senior community. They keep, it looks like the yards are kept up in this area. So most likely that's what it is. And so let's get back to Judge Fleischer, and we'll see what the storm chasers got going on.
The complainant began to feel that something was not right and offered to accept half the amount due for the pizza just so that he could leave the location. White then pulled out a firearm, pointed at the complainant, and demanded the pizza. White told complainant that he had 5 seconds to give him everything he had and began to count out loud. Do you know how scary that is to have someone hold a gun at you, tell them you have 5 seconds to give them everything or else? That is really, really terrifying and can cause people to have nightmares, all kinds of psychological issues. God. When defendant White reached his 5-second countdown, the complainant stated that he saw defendant White attempting to pull the trigger and could hear a clicking sound. It was at that moment the complainant was fearing for his life. He attempted to push defendant White's pistol away from his face and was able to retrieve his own firearm, namely a pistol. Complainant feared for his life and discharged the pistol at defendant White. Oh, the complainant shot and killed defendant White, who died at the scene. Complainant stated that defendant Marshall ran off with his property and the complainant drove to a safe location before calling the police. This is Houston. I will do everything in my power to protect our city. I want you to understand that. And that person is now gone. For a pizza, his life is now gone. How well did you know this person? How well did you, was he a good friend of yours?
Someone I knew was in the apartments.
I'm going to make each of your bonds $3,500, Mr. Marshall. I want you to understand that if you are able to make bond, I'm putting a whole host of conditions on you.
I will understand.
Don't be a danger to our city. You have but one life. Stop. You have but one life. You know, when it's gone forever. And it's so very, very short. So heed the advice, because I'm not giving you any more warnings. Do you understand? Okay. Thanks, Steve. Thank you.
Judge, sorry, I also had Mr. Yusuf that was appointed on. That's a question.
Okay.
The bond conditions.
All I did just don't go back to the location. And all we need him to do is sign it, and then you guys are good to go. Okay, thanks, Josh.
Yeah, everybody had a fit with this bond amount. I think there's some missing information stuff that was in the report that some of us didn't see. I think he's getting charged for the burglary or charged for the robbery, not charged for what happened there. That's in felony court. Sometimes they're in both sides of the courtroom, and so, but yeah, they had to establish probable cause, and so they had to figure that out. I hate that I split that one up, but it was important to show the trailer parks and to show what was getting ready to happen in Florida. So that was kind of sad there. The bonds for the misdemeanor, he probably had a different bond for the felony. Absolutely need coffee. All right, we're gonna go to Judge Washington. I'm gonna have to take out the video of the storm chaser for Judge Washington because Miss McDuffie's in the corner. I don't believe she's in Judge Washington's court anymore. I've been hearing rumors that she's gonna be in Simpson's court. I've been hearing rumors that she's moving up in the world in that area, but I don't believe she's going to be in Judge Washington's court as much or anymore. So let's see where she lands. I know earlier in the week she was in Judge Simpson's courtroom, so we'll go to that one next.
The court will call the case of the state of Michigan versus Mariah Gibson, case number 24-00056.
Rachel McDuffie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Davi Lebo on behalf of Ms. Gibson. Ms. Gibson, would you state your name, ma'am?
Mariah Gibson.
All right, thank you. We're here for sentencing today. Have you had a chance to review the report with your client?
I have, Your Honor. There are some comments I do want to make regarding the report.
Are those additions, deletions, or corrections?
They are not.
All right, then you'll do that at allocution. Ms. McDuffie.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll keep it brief. The court may recall that this was a case where at the first pretrial, there was an eyebrow raised because I didn't have any offers on this file. And I'm not claiming to be psychic, but there are some issues I saw in the underlying facts of the report and some things I just felt like I saw coming. And I was wrong about the scope of how bad it was actually going to be. I don't understand why these violations look like this. People using THC is one thing, and we see that all the time, although it's been very consistently showing up from September 30th all the way through the first test on March 21st. So that use is consistent. But the alcohol, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 alcohol violations, including, again, up to September 25th. This is an underlying OWI. So I just, it speaks for itself. I agree with the recommendation, 24 months probation. I was going to probably ask for that if that wasn't the recommendation, but I think the needs are obvious here. Ms. Gibson is young, and I think that's why initially the court was wondering why I seemed to be lacking some leniency, but she's young and she already has herself in a lot of trouble, basically. She was in court at that first pretrial appearance where she was taking care of so many others, and I think she may have done even a little bit of jail time between all these other courts and the things she had to do. We have the OWI here in addition to obviously speeding and I think essentially lying to the police officer about the circumstances. I did not charge that. I could have charged more things here, but I didn't. So that's really the break that she was given. I don't know what's going on in Miss Gibson's life right now. She seems to be, she's not a teenager, obviously, but she's 24 years old, I think. I don't understand why she's behaving this way in this situation and turning to use of these substances in a way that can kill her and other people. And she doesn't seem to recognize that she's under court's orders not to have these substances either. So a lot of work needs to be done here. I hope that she is beginning to get it. I'm not really sure. I don't know. Nothing else from the people.
Mr. Lebo?
Thank you, Rona. So I did have a very serious discussion with Ms. Gibson. And I think that it's clear both to Ms. Gibson now and to myself that Ms. Gibson has a very serious addiction problem with alcohol and possibly THC, and that she's been in denial of that for some time, including when she was speaking to the assessor. She admitted as much to me when we just spoke, and I think she is beginning to develop an awareness of both the details of her addiction as well as her need for treatment. So our request from the court today is that the court not sentence her to the upfront jail, but rather give her some time to enter into an inpatient treatment program, because I believe that is what she needs, and that is what she believes that she needs.
Ms. McDuffie, what's your position on that?
Your Honor, honestly, I don't have I can't open the file. Again, how much upfront jail was in the recommendation?
It's 30 days.
I think that's reasonable. I think that's reasonable given the circumstances, the violation, and that Ms. Gibson. The only question I have on that is that the
Wait, which part do you think is reasonable? What they're asking for or the recommendation?
Sorry, I think the recommendation for 30 days upfront jail is reasonable. And the only question or hesitation I would have on that is that I think the court has said before, please correct me if I'm mistaken, that it may take longer than 30 days in custody to get her placed somewhere. But I don't know if that's just for inpatient beds to open up or for outpatient. And I don't know what her, recommendation would be because she hasn't been assessed yet. She has been assessed, I think. So I think it's appropriate. I leave it to the court.
Ms. Gibson, what would you like to say?
So I know that I have been violating my bond by drinking and, consuming alcohol. It may not look like I'm trying, but to me I am, and other people around me who know like where it all started and how far I came. I understand that I keep failing tests. I do want to get help for myself because I don't want to keep turning to alcohol and having to smoke weed whenever I get stressed out. Right now I am about to start back therapy. Hopefully that helps. I do want to do some type of treatment. When I spoke with the lady, she told me about a Dawn's Farm program that they have. I want to get into that. I'm working right now to get my insurance back active so I can go back to therapy because I can't pay for that out of pocket without my insurance. So I am trying to do that. I definitely know I need help. But like, honestly, jail time is not, I pay bills. Like, I can't afford to go to jail and have to do 30 days. I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to lose my apartment and I'm trying to catch up on my bills here so I don't lose that right now. So that's all I got to say.
Did you think about that when you were drinking?
Yes, I did, honestly. And it's like, I want to stop, but like I get stressed out and stuff like that, and that's what I turn to.
Mm-hmm. Well, I too think that the recommendation is reasonable. I don't think I've had anyone who violated my orders other than one other individual who is now in treatment, and she had to get in treatment before she could see what she needed. She was very forthright just a couple of days ago about how she was glad that we made her do that. But my point really was that you violated my bond conditions more than anybody I know, man. And you sound with that sweet little voice like you mean what you're saying, but yet you continue to do exactly what I ordered you not to do. And you're telling me how you can't afford to lose your job and you can't afford to lose all these things that only apply to you. When you're out here drinking and driving, speeding, and lying to the police, you implicated your brother in this situation. I'm shocked.
I never lied about that. It's like, if they look at police reports, I never lied about that. It's the police got called there multiple times. When they get there, if that's on them to choose, like, everything's okay. My brother was a minor at the time, so of course he gonna do what my mom told him to do or say what she told him to say. I've been there. I did that. I know how everything is. I didn't have police called on me where it was like, oh, they get there and there's nothing wrong. That's just what they said. But I have my brother staying with me right now. That's why I can't afford to lose the apartment. He's been with me since then, since I got out of jail. I never lied about it. They didn't tell the truth. I never lied about it though.
Are you done talking over me?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, but yes.
All right. It's the sentence of the court that you serve 93 days in the Washtenaw County Jail, credit for 0 days served. 63 of those are suspended. You're to serve 30 days in jail immediately. 8 days for a total of 64 hours of community service, 24 months on probation, fines and court costs in this particular case for a total of $725. $30 per month probation oversight fee. You're to attend a 12-step meeting while you are incarcerated at the Washtenaw County Jail, complete an assessment at Dawn Farm or the equivalent, and follow all the recommendations. You're to sign a release of information for the probation department with the provider and scheduled to have this assessment completed within 1 week of release from the Washtenaw County Jail. You either attend the MAD Victim Impact Panel within 45 days of sentencing and provide a certificate of completion to the probation officer. You to report to the probation officer monthly via the online reporting platform during the first week of each month. No use or possession of alcohol, marijuana, illegal drugs, drug paraphernalia, and no being in the presence of anyone using or possessing those. No use or possession of firearm components, ammunition, or any other dangerous weapons, and no being in the presence of anyone using those. Your drug and alcohol test 1 time per week, and any other times as ordered by the court, probation, police, and anyone else. You'd attend 12-step meetings 3 times per week and provide proof of attendance. Actually, what I'm going to do is, I think she needs to be placed on the scram. Which one? SoberLink gives you automatic results. Actually, I think I want her in SoberLink instead of Scram.
That's correct, Your Honor. SoberLink is immediate.
All right. I want SoberLink prior to release from the jail. And you to continue drug testing 3 times per month. You to have no further marijuana now, unless you have a medical marijuana card. You to attend 12-step meetings 3 times per week and provide proof of attendance to the probation agent. I'll see you for a review in 60 days. So, well, let me say this. When can your client turn herself into the jail?
Ms. Gibson?
Can I wait till the work week is out for this week?
Yes, ma'am.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow?
Yes, I get off at 4:30. I can be there by 5 because I work in Ipsy.
You need to turn yourself in by 5 p.m. on October the 11th.
Okay. And that's by 5 p.m.?
Yes. Or if you get yourself into treatment before then, I'll hold the rest of the 30 days in abeyance.
Okay. You don't have to have like health insurance to do the Dawn's Farm program?
I think they can help you through access. Mr. Lebo, did you give her the access phone number?
No, Your Honor, I was just thinking about that, however, and I can send that during the Zoom chat right now.
All right, Ms. Gibson, look in the Zoom chat. He's going to send you the info you need.
And Ms. Gibson, you should call this number as soon as you're out of court case. Hopefully you can be in treatment before the 11th.
I will.
Ms. Gibson?
Yes.
I don't know what you need to do, but you need to not violate another one of my orders between now and the next time I see you. Okay?
Okay.
If you do, then you won't just be looking at 60 days. Okay?
Yes.
30 days. I'll see you back here. I'm going to actually do this in less time than that. I'm going to put you on October 31st, 2024 at 10. I want to see what's going on with you. If you're in custody, I want to know. If you're out of custody and in treatment, I want to know. I want to see what's happening. Okay?
Okay.
All right. I'll see you then.
Thank you, Your Honor. Was that court date the 31st?
All right, I'll go ahead and jump in there. I'm gonna throw that screen back on. Let's bring it up to the middle for the moment. Hey Bodie, I was driving to Atlanta a week or two ago, and I was listening to a show called The Lawyer You Know on YouTube, and he answered a question from someone named Bodie, and I had to look at my phone to check, and damn sure enough, if it wasn't you up on the screen on that show, The Lawyer You Know, so you're getting famous there, Bodie. This young girl is messed up. She's gonna need to get a lot of help. I didn't see anything in this hearing that made me think she believed in herself or believed that she was gonna get any help. So, I'm with everybody else. There's almost no way that she's gonna show up. They'll see her 6 months to a year from now, and she'll get picked up on something simple, and maybe then she can get herself fixed up. Roll on G, I think you're fighting a dead battle there. It's not about a card. It's not about a card. It's alcohol. It's everything. It's violating a court order. It's not just as simple as going and get a card. So that's not a good one. No, this is not necessarily the storm surge yet. This is earlier it was raining pretty hard, and this is part of just the flooding from that. The storm surge is going to be a lot worse. Storm surge is probably going to be a good 10 to 15 foot in this area. So it's going to be pretty high. People, the lawyer, tonight he was actually showing the storm because he's down in the Tampa area, so he's right there in the lane for this, and he does good. He's smart on YouTube. He never misses an opportunity to do it live, so he'll almost find anything. But it was neat to see Bodie's name on there. I thought that was pretty awesome. Let's jump back into some Judge Fleischer. We got one from yesterday or the day before, and then we'll run around through do some more there. So here we go.
Good morning, Mr. Eli.
Hi, Judge.
How's it going?
A little better. It took a lot of realization about being in here. It's really.
Your head's not in the clouds anymore.
Yes, Judge. And I wanted to ask you, if you don't mind, if I can have one chance to prove myself, to go to AA. My mom's in the hospital right now. She's very bad sick. I have my stepdaughter that I'm trying to look after. I don't want to lose my responsibilities over my dumb actions. I know what I did was wrong. I know what I did. I know what I continue to do wrong.
Mr. Eli, you've been given chance.
I know.
Chance.
I know.
Chance. And now you have a DWI second, a false report, and a failure to stop and give information. So, I want to tell you now, I don't know how to go forward with your case.
I know, and that's why I'm asking, Judge. I know I got plenty of chances, I know that, but this time, I'm just asking for one more chance to do what's right, to get my life together, to stop being on drugs, to start going to AA, and I'll do an outpatient program if I have to report to the courts, do anything, I'll do it. I give you my word. I don't want to be in here and then something bad happens to my mom. She's in the hospital. You could even have somebody call and check. I am not lying to you. She did a gastro sleeve surgery like 2 years ago. She's on a feeding tube. And they're doing some kind of major surgery on her. Couldn't find out too much because they barely even answering my phone calls. They know, I know what's wrong, what I did, I know.
Really want to take care of these cases?
Yes.
The way that's going to happen is PRAST. Because I don't know how to go forward with your cases until you talk to our clinicians. When that happens, they can give me at least a little headway and a little guidance on how to move forward. With you now, I don't know. All I know is that I'm not going to just throw you out on the street. That would really, really be bad for everyone, especially for you. The only way that we can move forward is when you get TRAS'd. If you can do that and be honest, because if we get you TRAS'd and it says that you're a little bunny jumping in the woods and that you don't have any issues, I know that that's not true. I'm going to send you right back to go do it again. I don't want to do anything until we have you TRAS'd to see how we go forward. That's all I'm asking you to do. The reason you're still sitting here is because you refused to get TRAS'd.
TRAS was for probation.
Order in the court.
It was because you wanted it personally. I thought it was for probation. I didn't want to sign for probation because everybody was telling me inside of their probation is set up for failure and stuff like that. I didn't know that you personally wanted it. And then she told me, my lawyer told me that.
We have very special types of probations called sober court that will bend over backwards to help you in every way imaginable. You, what I think would be right for is sober court. It's what I think you really, really need.
Okay, so could I sign for that?
First, you have to get evaluated. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Yes, and I think that that's the wise course of action. But the first thing that needs to happen is you have to get evaluated. Once you get evaluated, if they recommend it, then I think that that's what we should do. Part of it is you do treatment on the inside, and then you also do treatment on the outside, and you have an actual judge that monitors you while you're on this.
Basically like probation.
Yeah.
So what about if I just sign for probation today?
Have to get evaluated first. I'm not gonna just sign you probation not knowing what you need. I can have it expedited, so we can have you TRAS within the next, what, 2-3 days? Wednesday. In 2 days, I can have you evaluated, right? And then we can hopefully get the report within the next 4 days. So perhaps in a week, at the most a week and a half, we can have you ready to go.
But I don't want to go to an inpatient program. Why can't I do an outpatient program?
Because it don't work. We gave you the opportunity.
They never gave me the opportunity before. I never did it before. I never been to rehab. I'm willing to do it now, Judge. I'm willing to do an outpatient program. I'm asking you just to give me one more chance.
I'm not gonna do anything until you get TRAS.
Judge, alternatively, would you consider a PR bond with monitors so that he can be released and then report for a TRAS and then we can see instead of having him?
I think he's
He has been in jail for a month.
Tell me about the DWI, Alex, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On Mr. Eli. Yes, Your Honor. It says that on May 2nd, officers were dispatched to a convenience store where they were in reference to a shooting in progress. And upon arrival, they were searching for the vehicle, which had already left the store. The complainant reported that she was at the store when the defendant came in and began acting erratically, stumbling, and seemed to be under the influence of something. The defendant stated,
that's right.
Yes, that why are you guys always fucking with me unprovoked? And he went outside and got a gun from his vehicle and fired once in the air.
Judge, may I just add some color to this? I've watched the body cameras as much as I could cram in. They are actually two unrelated incidences, two unrelated vehicles. One's a black Dodge Ram, one's a white truck. The complainant that called about the shots is not the complainant on the FSGI. Two different scenes. Defendant was not at the store. Officers observed the body cameras. There were no shots. Officers confirmed with everyone in the store there was no gun seen. So I'm not sure what happened with that complainant that called the police. I think that was a separate investigation. And I'm also not sure how they ended up stopping and connecting this defendant to that looking out for, since it was a different color car, different color vehicle. The only descriptor was a gypsy. That's all he said. It was a gypsy man, different vehicle. And so, I'm not trying to get to the facts of the case or litigate it right now. I just think there's an entire investigation supplement, police reports that
They're saying a gun was fired, and they're saying that he's the one that fired the gun in
No.
response to, I guess, some
they're not.
If I may,
psychosis.
it says the complainant saw the firearm fall from the waistline and that he picked it up. And then the suspect left the store and got back into his vehicle, and the complainant got into observed him back his car into her vehicle, striking it. And that's whenever he took off without exchanging information. And the complainant got inside her vehicle and followed the suspect.
Judge, two different complainants. I know their names.
So the officers reviewed the surveillance video at the grocery store where the gun discharge was initially reported. And then I believe there was a separate DWI investigation that was going on down the road. So the officers were able to use that image of this defendant on the surveillance video to match it to the person who was pulled over for the DWI.
Tamika versus Ms. Purifoy. They're different complainants. And I know that the concerns about the gun. I get it, Judge. I get it. I think that it could have been written a little bit more clear. I think that this entire offense report is about the shooting. The officers that did the investigation on my client, there's nothing in there. There's no body cams. There's nothing. There's no supplements. There's nothing. We don't even know how they stopped him. We don't know how they identified him. We don't know.
Your Honor, if I may. Yes, she's correct.
You have the lady that identifies him as far as hitting.
Yes, Your Honor. Tamika reported the shots fired, but Ms. Purifoy is the one that observed the vehicle, the gun fall out of his waistband and get into his vehicle and strike hers. So Ms. Purifoy did observe him get into his own vehicle and strike her vehicle and leave the scene.
We have him reach out and do a rip,
I'd love that. I'd also love the supplements or to see how my client was even involved in all of this.
I'm not prepared to give him a PR bond at this point.
Okay, and the reason I'm getting into that is so maybe you would consider a PR bond just because it's been 30 days and he's in jail and I can't even give him a good account of what happened.
We've tried to expedite this, but it's because he refused to do the TRAS, so we can't expedite it. I tried to do this on the fly quickly, but you refuse to do TRAS. You just want to plead guilty, get out. And that's
what I'm
not-
trying to do. I didn't know that I had to do the TRAS. If I knew I had to do it, I would have done it. I've been waiting to redo it and they haven't called me.
We're doing it now. You know, today's the first day that I'm hearing that you're now compliant and that you want to do it. We're expediting it for you. Just get it done. We'll come back within the next week. We'll figure out how to go forward with you. Okay? But first things first, and like I said, be honest.
I am
Because
being honest.
if you're not honest, I'm gonna make you redo it. You understand? I'm not asking much.
Alternatively, we can set it for trial, and I did want
But
to.
that's the other option you can do is if you don't want to do this, okay, I'll set all your cases for trial. And we'll just one by one, go to trial. And then if you're found guilty, then we'll do the TRAS again.
Then stay longer in jail.
Wait, and then, right, you wait for trial and then we do trial and see what happens. If you're found not
Trial
guilty.
dates are you looking at so that you can make an informed decision?
Oh, God.
Because I know for a fact
Probably
It's
Mika
okay,
and
thank
them
you.
is
I
lying.
appreciate that. I appreciate that so much.
End of November, because I have to give them at least 30 days, right? So it's beginning of November, at mid-November to, beginning of December at the earliest. Can you be ready by mid to late November for trial?
Yes, Judge, but there are other cases that will likely take precedence over this case.
Well, but this is a jail case, so unless it's another jail case, yeah, but
We do have other jail cases.
yeah, do whatever you want to do.
November 12th and November 19th are the soonest trial dates. And then we have December 3rd and 10th.
You tell me what you want to do. I'm happy to go whichever way you want to go.
I would like to do, before going to trial, I would like to do the TRAS and see how if I could get out of jail like that and do an outpatient program. That's not a problem for me, but if you guys want to go to trial, then we'll go to trial on it. Because I never had a gun and I didn't hit and run it.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I didn't have that.
The evidence will dictate whose position is correct. I don't know. I've not seen any.
So do you want to set it for a week for you to do the TRAS, or do you want
Yeah,
to set it?
and I would like to move, if you could tell them to move me positive, because they keep still in my commissary and trying to fight with me to do that too.
I could put in a request. If he's put one in, I'll check the system and see.
I don't know how to
what's been
read it.
put in.
Perhaps medical? Can we get him in a medical?
No, there's no guarantee. If he has no physical ailments that would get him to actually be housed in medical,
No.
that's a whole different one. It has to be done, counseled by the psychologist there
Okay.
for that one.
Okay, so let's set off a week. We'll have you come back and we'll go from there. Okay, Mr.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks.
Go ahead and come on this way. Got my approach?
All right, everybody. It looks like the wind's starting to pick up a little bit. It's probably going to be hitting that area fairly soon. I'm supposed to be on tomorrow night. I plan on coming on tomorrow night. I'm probably going to have a lot of drone videos and a lot of storm videos from my little town. I should be going to St. Augustine if the roads will allow it, and I'll make sure to get some videos of that also. Got a few questions. I like interviewing people. I didn't expect that I would, but I do. I'm working to interview a few more people from Judge Fleischer's courtroom, but also I want to find out more about the mods on this channel. I want to find out more about some of the people that we see every day. So if you'd like to see an interview with any of these moderators, drop a comment down there and talk about that, because I think that'd be interesting to learn more about some of these people that are in the moderating world and see what they're doing. Definitely we need to do one with Jay. We need to get an interview with Jay just as soon as possible. I've talked with Roland G, and we're gonna see what we can't do there. Jennifer Jupiter, I am located close to St. Augustine, Florida. I'm just in the woods right outside St. Augustine, so I don't feel I'm in the path of the storm. It shows that we should be able to get about 50-mile-an-hour winds, but I don't feel that we're in the storm. Victoria, that is a great idea. I've tried that one. We'll keep trying that one because it's worth it. But we're going to try to interview some of the people that work there in Judge Fleischer's court. I know Victoria and Kathy want to be interviewed. I know we're trying to talk with ATX Alley, see what she's wanting to do. But we're going to try to learn more about different people. Roland G saying definitely Linus. I think everybody's tired of seeing Linus. I don't think anybody wants to see her. Maybe so. let's get Lena's to Houston while we're at it. That's a good plug for that. GoFundMe, get Lena's to Houston. We're trying to raise up some money so she can come visit the court. And so, yep. ATX said she'd try it out. We're going to work out something. And Myco Psycho, Jay wants to find out about what makes Myco Psycho tick. Court vibes. That's sweet of you. I think we're good. My sisters, this really sounds Florida. My wife's sister lives in Orlando, and they're at home right now. So they're definitely more my concern than we are. I think we're going to be okay. I think we'll probably get wind like what you're seeing on the screen right now. We'll probably get weather like that, but we're not going to get the devastating weather that some of these other people are going to see. Thank you, Victoria, for posting the GoFundMe. Make sure to go check that out and fix up Lena's. Anything will help. But tomorrow I should be on, and we're going to do some more. I'm going to throw on another. Let's go, Judge Middleton. There was a good small claims the other day, so let's see what that one is.
Quickly. Oh, you're so good. Thank you. All right, our next matter is Errand Sales and Lease versus Dorinda Brumfield. Miss Brumfield is in the conference room, and Rogelio Segundo from Errand Sales and Lease is present. Miss Brumfield, you heard me go through the rights regarding small claims. You understand that, and there is no appeal from this?
Excuse me, sir, what'd you say now?
There is no appeal from this. Any decision made here is final. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. This is a claim for $790.45 that had to do with a laptop computer. I'm going to ask you, Miss Brumfield, and you, Mr. Segundo, to both please raise your right hand. You both swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief.
I do. Yes. I do.
All right. Mr. Segundo, tell me how this claim came to be regarding this laptop computer.
She got a laptop for her daughter. What ended up happening was they brought it into our store. It was covered in food and it was not charged. We told her originally to take a look at it, but the daughter was being kind of rude about it. So we told her, really, with cracked screens, there's nothing we can do. We don't repair that. If it was like a manufacturer defect or something wrong with the battery or keyboard, we'd fix that. Just we don't do anything with cracked screens. And then they got upset about it. They stopped paying for a while. Then they started paying again, and then they stopped. We did offer to lower their payments. They came into the store. We told them we'd do it for $3.99. But for us to do that in our system, we'd have to get her to do a new order form and fill it out. Then after that, we changed the price of it to $3.99 for them. The daughter came in. She was just did not want to stay in the store long enough to sign paperwork. She didn't want to do any of that. We did put a note on the account showing that as long as they filled out the form, we'd pull the money out that she put into it and reapply it for $298.99. After that, they stopped picking up the phone, and we ended up going to their house numerous of times. When we went out there, the husband, he was upset because he didn't want to be involved in this. And we did originally tell Dorinda not to put it under her name for her. Her daughter's an adult. She could put items that's in her possession under her name. She refused to do that. So she, ultimately she's responsible for it since she did sign for it. they don't
What
feel like
was the
they're
original
responsible.
purchase price for the laptop?
So the full term payout for the laptop came out to 1,907 with 64 cents.
Now, when you said you offered to reduce the payment to $399, that would be the payoff for this claim?
No. So right now the early purchase option for it is the amount that I put on there,
Which is
$790 with 45 cents.
Well, what was the $399 business?
Well, that's a deal that my boss was trying to work with them to handle it outside of court. She's a great customer and definitely, she's done a lot of business with us. We hate that it came to this. But I mean, when you're not communicating with us and we have to come out to your house all the time, it really, what can we do,
All right, so at some point you offered a payout of $399 for the whole thing?
Yep, and it's in the notes that we'd after she made the payment of 125, we'd reapplied as long as they did the order form with us, which she no one came in to do. So right now it would be down to $298.99 if she had come into the store and done the retype and filled out the form and done it that way.
Ms. Brumfield, what's your position?
A lot of stuff he's saying is lying. Ain't no way this man would have told me that I couldn't rent nothing for my daughter. I went in there, I did go sign for getting what you call it, but now one time he said, don't do that. Now, how did that sound?
Well, all right, well, did the laptop get broken?
It did get cracked. And then I said, well, can we file an insurance? He said, no. And so then after a couple of months ago, that's not what he said. Okay. After a couple of months ago, she had some problems with her neighbors. They ended up stealing the laptop out the cart. And so I told them, hey, this got stolen. We got a police report. Can't y'all file it under insurance? Everything electronic has to have insurance.
And with that, with the purchases, he's all the way up. It was a $399 sale. I did come in, I offered to pay off the full $400. I told him I'm on my way to work. I had the kids and everything. I was being very much respectful. There was no disrespect coming in at all. He told me I had to pay $189. I paid the $189 and I told him I wouldn't have a full $399 if I paid $189 or something, whatever the last payment was. I was there to make that for the $399 payment. He told me, no, I cannot make that payment. I have to make the payment first and then they can retype it up and then I can pay the $399. I told him I did not have that. So he took whatever payment. I said, could you please write up the agreement? He told me, I don't know, he just stood there for a long time. I'm like, well, I don't have time to just be waiting. I'm trying to make the final payment of the $399. So he took the payment. He's saying it's $125, and I think it was like $200, but only had $200 left to pay. Only had $200 left to give him. And
All right, and then ultimately the laptop got stolen from you?
Yeah, it got stolen from me.
Well, they're not responsible for that. You can have renter's insurance, but they don't insure their everything from theft. That would be a free-for-all. People would rent a TV, claim it was stolen.
Everything electronic has to have insurance on it. And I'm looking at the paper in front of me. It says for a refrigerator.
All right, I'm gonna go with the payoff amount of $298.89. Was $63.50
That's the refrigerator one was
to 98.89 plus 63.50.
Yeah, as you looked at this paper, $326.30 is for a refrigerator. It don't say that again. On this paper, it says for a refrigerator. If you look at it on the third page, it says for a refrigerator. So
this has to do with the laptop.
Right, but Right, the price right here says a refrigerator on the second page. Is that the price you guys looking at?
No. This says oh, 18 cubic foot refrigerator, $699.99. That's a separate contract. This one is refrigerator. Refrigerator. She's right. You don't have a copy of an agreement regarding a laptop attached to these pleadings. Everything has to do with the sale of an 18 cubic foot refrigerator on a rent-to-own contract. Yeah, the pleadings say laptop, but the contract is for a refrigerator. Mr. Segundo, what's your response to that?
I might have put in like the last agreement when I printed it out, I might have put the ones for the refrigerator, but I do have the signatures and everything else on the laptop.
Well, you don't have them here. You have the burden of proof. What you filed was that she didn't pay you for a refrigerator. But we're talking about a laptop. So you haven't met your burden of proof. So lesson learned, you get 0. I talked about this with some of your predecessors who shall remain nameless. They got sloppy in their pleadings and to throw some spaghetti at the wall and hope it would stick. You're the plaintiff and you have the burden of proving the case. You sued her for a laptop. You filed pleadings for a refrigerator, and there's nothing in the record that sustains your claim. So I was gonna give her the benefit of the doubt and cut it almost in half. But at this point, I find you haven't met your burden of proof. So the claim is for 0. Ms. Brumfield, if you stick around, we'll give you a copy of that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
But you weren't very good customers. You broke the screen, you got food on it, you didn't pay for it. You won on a technicality, but this is electronic equipment. You need to be more careful with it.
Yes, Middleton, it was just a small crack and it didn't have no food or none of that on it. It was a small crack and I was trying to get it replaced. I was on my way to get it fixed when we was asking about the insurance and when I went to go pay the last bill. I was trying to pay it off. It was no,
all right, well, that's one of the reasons why I was willing to reduce it.
Okay, yeah, it was nothing like that. I keep real good care of my stuff and I would have fixed it, most definitely.
All right, well, go out to the counter and you can get a copy of that order. Mr. Segundo will send you that. We have 2 other matters to address, which should just take a minute.
Hey, Amanda Panda, I saw that. I hope you're okay. We need you. We need you out there being good. Be safe, okay? Don't go out there and having strokes on us. Yeah, don't do that. How are you feeling now? Put that in the comments there. How you feeling, Amanda Panda? We need you. We need you being all right. Yeah, that plane's a goner. Yeah. So they won on a technicality. Aaron gave the paperwork for a refrigerator when they were arguing over a computer. So They'll learn. I've seen 2 or 3 managers for that errands come through that court, and they all tend to do the same thing. So they get in a problem. Allie, I thought the exact same thing. All I could think about was the little TikTok of, hey, you can't park there. But well, this is why our insurance is so high in Florida. We get to make our own entertainment with storms, and so that's pretty sad. Yeah, Emily, that plane is upside down, or at least I hope it is. I don't want to fly the plane if it's right like that. With the storm say it's coming, all those planes are in trouble. Yep. Well, if that area is higher, they won't have that. If that area is above the storm surge, they should be okay. So if you think 10 to 15 foot, you're in Blue Strat. I think you said you were in Denver, and so you can think the elevation changes there. 10 to 15 foot's not too far, to get off the ground. So some of those places will be okay. The Navy bases and Air Force bases are awesome to see because you'll see them flying all their planes out of there. So that's pretty awesome to see our soldiers doing that. Man, are you saying you'll be okay back to annoying all of us? Thank you. We need you out here annoying us. I'm gonna throw on another Judge Fleischer, and then we're gonna wrap it up for the day. Can't get the redneck out of me. That's right, Bodie. That's right, Bodie. There's got to be some of us left. So we're going to throw on the Judge Fleischer there.
Sir, you're charged with criminal trespass. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. Looks like your case is extremely old. It's 714 days old, sir. They've given you multiple PR bonds. I guess we should be happy that you made it to court. Okay. Please.
Mr. Judge, on October 25th of 2022, HPD officers conducted a trespass investigation at the Icon gas station located at 7997 West Airport Boulevard in Harris County, Texas. Officers advised that the location has an active trespass affidavit in effect. Officers advised that they observed the defendant standing on the property next to a posted no trespass sign. Officers advised that they also made contact with the complainant, an employee of the gas station, who advised the defendant was trespassing at the location.
Had he been previously warned not to be there? Or was it just a no trespassing sign and he just goes there for the first time? Sure, take your time.
So, Judge, it's the defendant and multiple other males. There's a active trespass affidavit on file. They approach this defendant. They find marijuana on him after they detain him. They ask him multiple times if he would be willing to participate in the marijuana diversion program. He refused several times. But I don't see anything.
No priors?
I don't see anything about the complainant.
So, look, when you show up to court, good things happen. I'm going to find no probable cause in your case now. But I want you to understand, you are now on notice. You can't go back to this gas station. Stop. You can't go there anymore. If you go there again, they're going to arrest you for criminal trespass. I'm finding no probable cause now because I don't see that the prior warning was issued. But I am issuing the warning to you now. If you go back there today, tomorrow, next week, next year, they're going to arrest you for trespass.
Just get caught, he can probably trespass.
Mr. Lucy, listen, it's not a discussion. They have the right to tell you they don't want you there, and they don't want you there. Find another place to go to. Now I'm going to find no probable cause. You're free to go, okay?
And I'm following dismissal now, Judge.
All right, man, take care.
All right, I'm good.
All right, I'm getting ready to head out. I'm going to play one last video to run it out. Man, like See, y'all put a message, and then I have to go and look back through to see what the message was about that. Hey, look, if y'all go to Judge Fleischer's courtroom and y'all have problems in the chat, the other day at the end of Judge Fleischer's stream, he gave a little PSA for everybody watching. Y'all be nice in there. You know, the moderators are trying their best, but even the best people make some dumb comments, and you know we try to block them as much as we can. Don't take it personal. It doesn't mean we don't like you. It just means we're trying to continue the chat. We want to keep having the chat. We want to keep it out. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and throw on that last video. This one's for Amanda Panda. I've made it specifically for her. So we'll see you guys tomorrow night, and I'll have some videos from my area with the drone.